This podcast is part of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts, visit red5network.com.
And hello, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? It has been a long time. Things in this world have definitely gone crazy. So, hello to everybody in the live chat. Glad to see everyone here. Hopefully, we'll get some more. You guys have any questions or anything? Don't be afraid to shoot them out, and I will try to answer what I can when I can in our standard format. All right. So, man, what a day. Woke up this morning. I guess it was about 5:30, 6 a.m. or so, and realized that my air conditioner had gone out at the house. So I've spent all day going and getting parts and trying to fix this air conditioning unit. So far, so good. It seems like it's working okay. But yeah, here in New Mexico, it is a nice and toasty 111 degrees, I think was the high today. So yeah, it definitely need air conditioning of some sort. So, yes, today's episode is going to be a therapy session with Edge of Hope. So this is a continuation of one that we've done previously. In fact, I think it kicked off my Star Wars a therapy series. And we're going to bring in Miss Rachel, Reaper Girl 27 on Twitter. And we're going to catch up with her, see where she is on her fan fiction. We'll get into where she can get it. It's such a great read. It's definitely, sorry, I have a little distraction here. Some of my kids are home and they're watching TV and stuff, and I get distracted. So stay on task, Charlie. All right. So yes, where have I been? Well, I haven't been podcasting per se. Even my Twitter activity has slowed down quite a bit. So where have I been? I've been kind of lurking in the shadows with this whole coronavirus thing going around. Most of my prep work and whatnot came when I was on break at work, when it was a slow time. Lunch times, things like that. I could comment a lot more. And then we ended up having to work from home and try to get all that all situated, like I'm sure a lot of you guys did. And so it took 2-3 weeks in order to get all that situated. And so, yeah, it was really interesting. Hold on there, baby. Oh, baby Yoda. All right. So, yeah, for the street or for the audio version of this, I have a little baby Yoda sitting on top of my microphone, and I accidentally hit it, and it went down. So I kind of got busy with work and trying to get that all situated. Then we lost a worker that is no longer with the company. So then, now there's two of us doing the work, and it really got tight there for a while. And then, as things go, it was just, it was really crazy. And then we had, as people were getting used to the conditions, either from working from home and dealing with this virus and, remote shopping and restaurants only doing carry outs and everything like that. And then we had all the protests happen. and it just didn't seem like I could find my voice to focus on Star Wars. And I'm not sure if you guys had a similar similar experience as I did. In fact, I even posted a tweet on Twitter that has now been deleted about really itching to talk about some Star Wars. And then I got some negative feedback on that about, don't you care about what's going on in the world and all this social stuff that's going on? And I care about it, but one of the things that helps me out is talking about Star Wars. It's a good therapy of mine. So I was talking with a friend earlier, and I'll read you what I wrote him because I think that sums it up best. That Star Wars is my therapy, but when the world turns to crap, I start to doubt what I say. I feel like it's being lost, and I could not find my voice. The voices of others were more important, and I just didn't have the words or know what to say. And it's very true. I really had nothing to help with the situation that was going on in some of our communities, in the larger cities, in the nation. Here in Roswell, there were a couple of protests, all very peaceful, but it just didn't feel right, and I didn't know exactly what to say about Star Wars at that time. So I took a break. Hold on one second. No, sorry. All right. No, you're good. Go ahead. Sorry, having to delegate and watch for my kids here. They want to make sure they weren't disturbing me, and I told them they were good. All right. So, but yeah, we're all here for each other. We are friends. We are family. And as I was saying, I use Star Wars as a therapy. This is a therapy class on myself and my mental health issues and how I use Star Wars to cope with a lot of the bad crap that goes on in the world. I'm not here for politics. I'm not here for social injustices. I enjoy Star Wars, and it helps keep me sane, and I want to share that with other people. So, saying that and whatnot, and yeah, so we are, so let me bring in Miss Rachel. All right, Miss Rachel, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right, I'm going to switch. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. So how are you doing today?
So far, pretty good.
Oh, I don't know if it's me or her.
I still have a few more hours left for stuff to go sideways.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting day here. It's my wife has went to the mountains with one of her friends and some of the kids to kind of get away a little bit, like a camp for my littlest one that's not allowed to go to different church camps or whatnot. So they took them out. So that was, it's been a good day. I spent it fixing the air conditioner, then fed the rest of the family hamburgers on the grill. So yeah, have a nice little barley pop here, and it's I'm ready to go. But you forgot something.
But yeah, like the only thing I've been doing today was I was watching. Oh, sorry. Is there a delay in my?
All right, I think you're cutting out a little bit there. All right. So I think you're frozen there on the screen. So if you want to try to reconnect, we'll try to get you back in here. In the meantime, I'll keep it going here. All right. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. When we try to get rid of some of these Jawas or gremlins or whatever. All right. So, all right. Yeah, I think she has some technical issues there. We'll try to get those fixed out. So yeah, all right. So while we're working on that, there, you guys in the chat, I don't know, have you guys seen the? Man, there's so many rumors that are going around right now. I had the biggest laugh after that masked dude. I can't think of what his name is. Dr. Doom or something like that. And he was all about the how they're going to destroy the sequel trilogy and try to get they're going to do a new version of it, and George Lucas is going to come in and do it. And so many people were bought it hook, line, and sinker. And and it was I couldn't just the audacity that people had. This has got to be real. It's got to be real. I mean, how many millions, if not $1 billion, did they spend on making this sequel trilogy? And they're not just going to, we're going to, we're going to poo-poo this right here, and we're going to, we'll explain it by saying, ooh, there's a multiverse, just like in Marvel. Hey, next thing you know, you're going to see a Star Wars movie with Star-Lord and Groot flying through, and it's just, it was so crazy. Michael, he had the Mike Zero. He had one the other day that had a lot of traction as well, and I really couldn't I couldn't see it. Whether or not maybe they'll add on to or have something in between, similar to the way that Lost Stars did for the original trilogy, and it was kind of set in there. Maybe they'll do something in there, or do some High Republic stuff, or do stuff afterwards. But they're not going to just completely dismiss an entire movie trilogy just because some people didn't like it. It's not going to work. But all right, I think we got Miss Rachel back. Let's give this a try again.
Hello.
All right, Miss Rachel, are you there?
I am here. I have no idea what happened. I checked everything, and my hotspot's still good. So I don't know. Job was.
Who knows those? Yep, absolutely. All right. So let's see. Oh yeah. So where were we? Edge of Hope. The last time that you were on, I think we concluded that you were had just submitted chapter 33 that day, and I had a little bit of catch up to do because I was on 30 or 31 and had to catch up, which I did. So tell everybody where you are on Edge of Hope right now.
Right now, I am on chapter 43. I kind of took a break after 43 so I could start working again on Solo 2. But I'm kind of really I want to come back to the story because everything that I've been able to do up to this point, changing it from the Twitter thread has really kind of gotten me very excited because it's become a completely different story than whatever I previously read in Twitter thread. So it's kind of like I'm setting it up for future things, but it really got me. I'm really happy.
All right. So yeah, you were on on 43 now, and just like before, I think a chapter or two behind. So I'm excited to see where you've taken it. I know you've asked, what my thoughts are on it, and I really love the direction that you've taken the characters, and I don't know if I'm going to say this the way that it's rattling around in my head, but their interactions with each other and the way that you captured their essence, if that makes sense, really, really does well. I really like the way that you've developed these characters and made them part of the overall universe, but gave them your own voice and your own spin on it. So it's very, very good. I really enjoy it. So, and I know that you had written out your whole Twitter and what do they call that? The whole big old list.
The thread.
Yeah, the thread. It shows you how experienced I am on Twitter. I couldn't even think of the word for thread. But
hey, we all have our moments.
Right. So from where you started to where it is right now, is there a character that comes to mind that has really evolved differently than what you imagine them going to, that, they've completely done a different step for, from what you originally intended?
Yeah. If I look back, pretty much the two characters, there were two characters that really changed the most from what was written in the Twitter thread to what's now in the novelization. And the first one would be definitely, it would have to be the Dark Ray character.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved the idea of having a Dark Ray and everything in the Twitter thread, but then the more I kind of started thinking about things and kind of, thinking about, George Lucas really loves to play around with mirror characters. He's got Anakin and Obi-Wan. He's got Ahsoka and Anakin. He's got all the different characters that he kind of plays off of, each other to kind of see what he can actually kind of reflect back towards the audience and see what you kind of connect with. And I really like that. But I also I liked the idea of how he did kind of the mirror thing with Carrie's character with Leia and with Mark's character Luke, where they weren't either one of them dark side or anything like that. So it was kind of an interesting twist to see, almost like him try to play two people against one, which was Vader, and have the two people represent, kind of one personality as a whole. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to try to do something similar like that with the Dark Ray character and with Rey. But I really kind of was like, we all just keep calling her Dark Ray. Like I get that in the original film, in the the real version of it, she's just supposed to be like a force vision or something, almost like Rey seeing a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's clever. That's one way to tell the story. I thought that she kind of deserved to have a name, because even as a Force flashback, I was like, can we give her a name, please? Because it's just Dark Ray. And that in and of itself kind of takes some of the wind out of that character's sail, from my point of view, because comparing a dark character to a character that is trying her dead level best to be so straight and narrow and so good that she's basing her actions off of what Kylo Ren's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when she kind of does that, there's nothing to play off of Dark Ray, because she's not a fully formed character, because she's just here and then she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave her a name, and I looked up I liked the idea of using like the play on the light themes, like with Ray, and I kind of did a little research and looked up some different names and things like that, and I came up with Umbra, which basically means shadow, but it's the shadow of a bright light. So I was kind of like, I liked that idea where Ray almost kind of eclipses her, where she's progressing towards a certain goal and Umbra's kind of just waiting in the background. So I liked that play on it, but I also kind of delve into the whole sisters aspect, where if you grow up with a sister, sometimes, especially if you're close in age, there's a lot of tension. So there's always a sense of competition as well. So it's kind of like you're just trying your dead level best to gain a step ahead of that person. So I gave her a name. I made her kind of, I took her darker than Vader. I took her darker than what she's seen in the film, just because I wanted to have like the polar opposite of Rey. But she changed a lot around chapter 41. She did some changing, and then she kind of progressed a bit further, and she took me down a different path than I had intended with the book. But after I was like, I'm good with being here. This is I like how it gave me opportunities that I wasn't aware that there were there.
Mm-hmm.
The other character that kind of did like the most changing would probably have to be Zori out of like another group of people. The Zori from the original film is somebody who lives in this town, and she kind of has some sort of history with Poe. There's some tension there, but like her character progression only goes to like this much of her story. And I mean, it's amazing that they wrote a character with just that much of like a window into their life, their world, or their backstory, and so many people connect with her. That's the incredible thing about her. But I kind of pried that window open just a bit more and gave her just a little bit larger scope in the Twitter thread, where I made her kind of a spy that's actually more kind of like I took some of Jyn Erso, and I took some Leia and some of Cassie and Andor, and I just like put them all together and made Zee a little bit more and give her a little bit more to kind of play off. But then in the novelization, I kept with that theme because I'm using the Twitter as kind of almost like a guideline. Like I'm just holding on to it to make sure I don't lose my way. So I type out I have from the Twitter and start the chapter, and I'll tweak it and I'll change it. And sometimes it doesn't even resemble what was in the Twitter at all. But I always start with that guideline. So I've got some place that I know where I'm at in the story, and I know how much further along I have progressed until I'm at this chunk over here. But in the novelization, I kind of really spun her. Like I made it a thing where she kind of almost became like she was a kind of almost like an orphan, like a cast off that Leia had come upon. And we don't have a whole lot of information about like this growing up or her marriage with Aunt, or what kind of happened with her traveling towards the beginning of the Resistance and encountering people.
I think she disconnected there for a second. We'll try to get her back. All right. Yeah, I think the Jawas got her again. I'm hoping it's not on. Hopefully, it's not on my end here, because it's everything. I don't know. I'll ask you guys in the chat since you're here. Is my audio coming across okay for you guys? Hopefully so. And while I'm waiting for her to reconnect, let's see. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. So I think she's reconnected. Hold on. All right. I think it dropped out.
Okay.
Are you there now? Miss Rachel. All right. I think she froze again. All right. So you guys in the chat, while I'm trying to work out this little detail here, any cool Star Wars stories out of the last couple of weeks that you guys want to share? I've tried to get in. Unfortunately, my Mondays have been booked, so I haven't been able to get on to the 2Med2 network and see what what Michael's been up to. I do get the notifications. And try to I watch the replays, but I don't get anything live right now just because everything's been so crazy hectic here. All right. All right. So yeah, it's I know StreamYard has undergone some things where they now 10 people can do it, and I know they changed a few other things, but I think we have some breaking news. All right. So it's in the chat, so I'm going to post it up here. Yoshi Vu in the Bacta tank tomorrow. That is awesome. Man, that's going to be a great one. I really enjoy my conversations with Yoshi. All right, we're going to we'll put that on the back burner. We'll come around to that because I think Miss Rachel is back. All right. Let's see. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. I have, you just kind of blipped out, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you just disappeared from the screen.
I had it on my hotspot, but apparently it seems to be running better.
All right.
I have no idea what's going on.
All right, so we got your Umbra, if I said that right, character, and Zori are the ones that took the largest turns for you. All right, so
yeah,
do you have a favorite character? I know probably anytime I do writings, you throw so much of yourself into all the characters, but is there a favorite character of yours?
Favorite character I like to write, the one that's been the most fun to write, ironically, is kind of been Ben Solo, because it's kind of like it's interesting to see kind of like what the possibilities are whenever he encounters different situations. Like if we got to see Ben kind of make the spin at the beginning of the story, like I came up with for Edge of Hope, where there's kind of that confrontation and that push, and then it's kind of like he makes the decision, and kind of comes back to the light earlier on. So we get to see kind of the reconciliation. We get to see what steps he's willing to take next. We get to see the relationship between him and Rey kind of evolve a bit more. We get to see him present when Leia passes, and along with the other members of the family being there. We get to see him kind of butt heads with Poe and even Finn and Zori in places, because they're kind of like they've created their own little family. So whenever you kind of toss Ben Solo in there, it's an interesting mix. But it's fun, like the older Ben, but the younger kid kind of Ben, because I wanted to kind of touch on things that I thought would be interesting threads that could lead to other characters, but also be very poignant, heartfelt moments. So I gave him a little bit of a backstory as a kid, like having nightmares, being tortured by, the dark side kind of like tapping on the glass. Like I had him kind of really form more of a connection with Han through that, but then also kind of with Padme as well. I always thought, I mean, she's not a Jedi. She's not in the Force or anything, but I liked the idea of something Yoda had said, where he had said that we are, luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. And I mean, you can hear him say that and you think, okay, he means just Jedi. But then you hear other Jedi and other lines of dialogue where they say that we're all connected through the Force. The Force lives in us. So if that's true, you could possibly be symbiont with the Force, but not have Force sensitivity or Force power or anything like that. So I like the idea of there being a connection with Padme, kind of almost like a connection with Shmi, because in a way it's kind of an odd twist to think that the mother of the strongest, being that's connected to the Force has no kind of tenuous, even just the smallest connection to it. So I kind of look at Shmi and I think, it's, the same thing with Anakin. I look at Padme and I'm like, she had the twins and they both have the Force. So why couldn't that be, something fun to play with? And what would she have done to kind of, experience being a mother towards Ben, if she could, see and hear things that, maybe the parents couldn't see and hear. So it's kind of, I liked those moments that I was able to create for like the young Ben with Padme and then with Han, because there were moments that, like, I'm not a parent, but like wanting to have kids and then having my friends' kids, like Madison's kind of slowly evolving into a Star Wars fan, which I'm really happy about. She just got a Baby Yoda. But we will not speak of what she did to Baby Yoda.
Oh,
it made me very sad.
I really like the way that you, and this might be a bad example, but because I can't write the way that you do, but the way that I like the banter part that you do with Ben. And when I first started reading it, it reminded me of like, especially with Poe, because they can just they can go all day, and it reminded me of like the Poe's thing of who talks first, you talk first, I talk first, kind of, and that playful kind of one-upmanship. And you wrote that very, very well, and I could hear that, like in an Adam Driver voice, them, going back and forth with each other, and which is amazing to be able to write like that and to get that across. So yeah, very, very well done. Is there a character that you just
Thank you
weren't happy with the way that they've turned out?
There's there's not very many of the characters that I don't really have fun kind of writing for. Like the one that I would say that is the most difficult to write is definitely it's got to be like the stuff between Ahsoka and Rey, because you've kind of got two women that have some experience. Like Ahsoka's got more of a background with the Jedi training and things like that, but you kind of almost see bits and pieces of Ahsoka in Rey as she's making her decisions as she goes along, because she kind of has had to decide. It's never been with Jedi. The thing with Jedi is it never seems like it's you can have a bit of this and a bit of that. It's just black and white. It's you're good or you're bad, you're in or you're out. And while that kind of sets up great tension, it's not really feasible for a human character or for a character that has the same kind of emotive capabilities as a human. And I think that's why we see so much of ourselves in Ahsoka and in Rey, because we see them kind of trying to buck the system, where they're trying to do the right thing, but also stay true to themselves. And that's where the tension gets a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. So I know you said you're taking a break on chapter 43. Compared to so is the Twitter thread just now gone to the wayside and now this is a complete direction, or do you have an end in sight?
The Twitter thread is I have an end in sight. The Twitter thread is complete. It's complete and finished. It's I don't have a complete like total count of how many I had to use, but like it legitimately kind of it's its own story. It's kind of like something that I look at as I told this version, now I get to go tell a different version. What can I make? How can I make it better or make it different? Because I didn't want everybody to have to read the same thing essentially again. But yeah, the Twitter thread's done and complete. It's been complete. The whole story's been complete for quite some time. The novelization, since I am kind of going along the thread as a guideline, I'm having to take chunks of it, like find a good start point, a good end point for a chapter, and kind of make chunks so I can make chapters out of it. I kind of like and as I've expanded, I've had to actually create new chapters because I found moments where I was writing, I was like, this is too good not to continue. I've got to flesh this out a bit more. So I'm gonna try to get it done before August. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but at the very least, I'm gonna try my dead level best to have it done by the end of August.
Awesome.
With Kylo.
Yeah, he's.
I'm so sorry, Kylo.
That sucks, and Michael too. There's a number of us that are hurting and going through sometimes. Even if I don't broadcast all the time, I do check my DMs and try to get on Twitter when I can. As we state a lot, we're family, and not only are we family, we're friends as well throughout all this. And this year has definitely been turned up way past 11 in the crap storm meter. But yeah, we are here for all you guys. If you ever need anything, even if it's just to talk or whatnot, please don't hesitate. Reach out to somebody. As I said, Star Wars for me is a therapy. I believe it is for you, Miss Rachel, as well. We've made a lot of good friends that through talking about Star Wars, and friends nowadays are what we need, friends and family. If anyone ever needs anything, reach out. I can't really do like money stuff because I got 6 kids and I'm broke. But I'm always there for for talking. We can jump on a chat session, even if it's a private chat session, and have a drink, sit back, and have a discussion and talk about things. And it doesn't even have to be Star Wars. Yeah, man, sorry to hear that. I'll be in touch with you after this, and we'll talk about it off the air. Yeah, that's sad. But all right. So that's Edge of Hope. Edge of Hope, for anyone that hasn't read it yet, is an amazing fan fiction written by Miss Rachel here. It's on chapter 43. All right, I might say this wrong because I'm horrible at grammar, but Wattpad, I believe, is where it is. Okay, so Miss Rachel, if you will DM me the link to Wattpad again, I think I have it. Just send me a DM on Twitter on that, and I'll put it in the comment section after the stream is over. So when people hear it and they're like, "Oh, hey, I want to go read this," they can click on the link that I'll have in the description, and we'll be all good. What in the world are my children doing? Oh man. Hey, no forts in the living room. Oh, my 13-year-olds are building forts in the living room. I haven't seen them do that in like 10 years. But all right.
Aww. Hey, everybody, you really got to appreciate a very well-built pillow fort every once in a while.
Right.
It's an essential skill for life.
Absolutely. When the zombie apocalypse happens and we all have to build pillow forts to survive, then they've got it made. All right. So Edge of Hope, and you also have been working on another piece of fan fiction that may not be fan fiction. Who knows if it can get into the right hands, because we've all been wanting Solo 2 to happen. # make Solo 2 happen. So I know that you are preparing and are working on that. How's that coming along for you?
It's coming along amazingly. After we did our last table read, I guess is the best way to put it. After we did the last table read, I kind of sat down and took a break from Edge of Hope and started looking at it again, because I needed to pick it back up and kind of add more to it, because we had always intended on doing another table read. And I found some software that it actually, like, it'll read the script back to you. So when I copy and pasted it over to start using this new software, I kind of was like, it'll read to me? Sweet. So I had it actually start reading it to me. And as I was sitting there listening, I was like, I can make that better. I can make that better. I can make that sound a bit more like that character. So I kind of just started back at the beginning and just kind of reworked the entire part that we had done previously. Mm-hmm. Added a few lines of dialogue, kind of tweaked a few different sets of dialogue to make it sound just a bit more like the character. And then also to kind of add, like, I noticed that there are quite a few typos, as always, with everything that I write. I had to go back and fix that. There were things where I'd gotten the wrong time of day that I had to go back and fix. So I just kind of streamlining that part. But then whenever I got to writing the new stuff, I was like, we've got to start from the beginning again. Like, I've changed everything. So when we do the second table read, we're going to start from the beginning again. I'm actually planning on stopping at a very, very kind of, I'm going to stop at a very set page number. I don't want to like quite drop what page, but everybody, when you see it, you'll laugh. But I really kind of like, I'm really excited about it because I was able to tie in Jedi Fallen Order and I was able to bring Rogue One into it. And after, it probably won't make it in for the second table read, but for the third, if we do a third, that'll be when the elements of like the Clone Wars and Rebels come in just a bit more heavier. But I have been able to kind of tie all of that in so far, and I have to say, it's really good. The banter stuff that you were talking about, there's quite a few little kind of moments of that stuff in there with Han, and it's really exciting. Like some of I've created new. I had to create a language because we didn't have. I keep saying I wish they would make like an encyclopedia of every language in Star Wars, because that would be really handy to have, whether you're a fanfic writer or just somebody who really likes to learn languages and stuff. I'm really kind of
I'm trying to remember. I was just listening to an author the other day, and it may have been Ray Carson, but I'm not, because I've been listening to quite a few different authors on a lot of different podcasts. So maybe it was Claudia, maybe either Ray Carson or Claudia Gray, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they did exactly what you were talking about. They had their own encyclopedia for the language that they were writing, and I was like, wow, that would be an awesome read, just to be able to get into it and see what all that they were really meaning to say. That's pretty cool to go that deep into something that you would, it's like, man, I have to write this encyclopedia about it, about this, about all these words that I've come up with. And so that's cool. Can we know what language it is, or is that a secret?
It's Tognath. That I couldn't come. I've looked and looked and looked and could not find anything of it on the internet anywhere. I even went and tried to kind of pick pieces of it up on like out of the clips that I could find out of the films, and it still wasn't enough for me to actually be able to like craft something around it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to, I kind of really just had to just come from scratch and just make something up. And I sent a few different pieces of it to a few people to kind of like get their kind of take on it. Did it sound right? Does it sound spacey enough, but not sound like Elvish or something like that? Does it actually fit? And for the character that it was supposed to be saying, it's going to come through a voice modulator anyhow, so it'll be fine. And if it ever really becomes dialogue, we'll look at it and be like, let's fix this. You've deciphered what it is underneath it, so I can fix that. So,
awesome.
But it's just a lot of fun to do that. I came up with a few different creatures. I've created some more original characters, a few original planets. I've tried my dead level best to kind of not go too much, too heavy with the whole like dropping new characters in here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And that, kind of getting lost on the main thread of what the story is. But I've tried to kind of make sure that I'm blending everything well in together. I did drop a spoiler. I think it was about a week ago. I dropped a spoiler about a scene with Kira and Han as Kira was leaving Dathomir.
Cool.
So it kind of, yeah, I know it kind of reads a little bit different, and it's not something we've seen a whole lot of, but the idea Well, I can't really get in touch with anybody from USC.
Well, no, I understand. Go ahead. I thought it was a good point, so I put it up there. Awesome.
What university is that? The University of South Carolina, or what is that?
Southern California. USC. It's Southern California.
Okay.
Yes, the Trojans.
I don't know. Maybe I can write the dean something. I don't know. But I totally lost where I was. Oh, on the ship with Kira. I tried to give. We haven't seen a whole lot of it, but I liked the idea of, it's almost the Charles Dickens type thing where you have something that's haunting you, but instead of it just being this non-corporeal type entity that's, it's kind of very easy to write characters it's just a voice. So I wanted to make it a little bit, more, have a person there. If you can have the person there, why not have the person there? So it's kind of her memory more than an actual ghost, but it's that thing in the back of Kira's head that's kind of sat there and been eating at her while she's been kind of going through her training with Maul and being prepared to do what he wants her to do. So
awesome.
That little moment where we get to see those two have that banter back and forth where like she's trying to like plot her course and get all, she looks and there he is and he's sitting there just like jabbing at her and going on. Like I always liked the moment where Han and Chewie kind of follow Beckett into Dryden Voss's ship because they're just looking around at it like, dear God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But then you catch moments of Han looking at stuff going like, why? So I kind of look at it like, okay, what would Han think of the interior of a ship if he could be completely honest? Because it's kind of like, you really think back on it, there are an awful lot of like bad guy ships that there's not a whole lot of primary colors and there's a lot of mustard. So the point I was sitting there thinking, I was like, if the interior of that ship is that mustard color, it would be an amazing thing to have him sit there and kind of like nitpick her about like, are you going to redecorate or like, are we just going to stick with this color? What is it with this color? Like you're from Crimson Dawn. I thought it would be like red, or something like that. So, because I've seen Emilia Clarke and other characters have moments where she's just like, stop it. Stop. Just, and he just keeps going. And I just thought that was too good to pass up.
Awesome. So when, I know you've done 2 table reads. You mentioned possibly doing a third. We've done
one. We haven't done the second one yet.
Oh, I thought you did 2. I thought I watched it.
I'm planning number 2.
Maybe I watched the same one twice. All right. Probably on me then. All right. So are we going to find a print version of it sometime soon?
A print version of the Solo 2 script?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like, I got to finish it first and get it to the right pair of hands before I could, like, I know it seems like a long shot and everything is a long shot. It's an even longer shot if you don't take the shot. So like Hamilton, I'm not going to take I'm going to take my shot. I'm not going to, it's a, weirder things have happened. Weirder things have happened than somebody, offering to do something and we want the film and we want the original characters and we want the cast back. So, I mean, anything that you love that much and you're willing to kind of stick your neck out for, it's worth it. So, I mean, if it gets into the right hands and, somebody gives me a call and says, hey, we're really interested in this, but maybe not as a film or more as a Disney Plus series or something. Like the way I've written it, it would be quite easy to break it up into, sections like The Mandalorian and things like that. So, I mean, it never hurts to give it a shot. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to make Solo 2 happen.
There you go. Absolutely. So speaking of giving things a shot, any other news or anything else that you've been working on, or declarations that you want to make?
I started a podcast.
Awesome.
Yes, I dropped my little teaser yesterday because I had a bad evening and I was really depressed, and I was like, let's do something stupid. let's go early. So I worked up a little thing and I posted it, and I have to say I'm glad that I did, because it kind of has lit a fire under me to start coming up with ideas about what I want to start putting out. My schedule, since unlike everybody else, unfortunately, I don't have a job. So I can pretty much do videos every single day and post stuff every single day. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do a video every single day, and then at least minimum one live stream a month. And then like the segments that I came up with, of course, everybody has like their little movie review, TV show review. I like history and things like that. Like, it's not going to be just Star Wars. It'll be like smatterings of other things. Like, I want to share things that I love with my friends and with my family. So it's kind of like, if I know of a really awesome play that nobody's had a chance to take a look at, maybe we'll explore that. Or if it's, a really awesome documentary that's, just something that I can't stop thinking about, maybe we'll cover that. I plan on having kind of like a virtual book club where I'll choose a book and we'll read it. As you know, StreamYard, we can have people on up to 6, I think, or did you say 10? Up to 10? Well, if we can, I'm just going to stick with 6 because I don't think my internet would carry 10. So we'll just 6. But we're gonna have it's a reading roundtable. So basically, we'll all read the book. We'll come on, and whoever wants to be on camera or just do audio or whatnot, we can discuss the book and kind of, get everybody's perspective on it. Mm-hmm. There's also going to be a segment which I've set up to be, I titled it the POV Clash. And basically it is a segment where you can bring up any topic on the stream. You can bring up any topic that you want, but it cannot be politics and it cannot be religion. Those are the only two, and there will be guidelines and rules that you have to agree with if you do want to participate in that segment for any reason, because I'm kind of working on a safe, happy zone, and it's, more positive. Let's put positive out and get positive back instead of, nitpicking this, that, and the other. So I've got that. Then there's just me sitting there talking about something that, I feel like I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. Probably the first video that I'm going to do will be something that's very personal, because I kind of feel like, while you guys do know me, there are certain things that you don't know quite so well about my personality, my backstory, and things like that. And like any character, I do have flaws, and I do have, some things that it's just cathartic to talk about. So It's kind of like I want to be completely open and honest about things. So there are quite a few things that I kind of topics I do want to touch on. But the first video I'll probably do will be something that's very kind of open and honest about myself and about how I deal with things. But like that's pretty much the gist of what I kind of want to do. And I like the idea of having the different segments where I can do this video this day, that video that day, or do 2 videos if I feel like it, and just have fun with it.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, do you want to share the name of it, or do you want to hold that off until you really get going?
Oh yeah, that might be helpful. No, I named it R Squared Podcast, so it's kind of R2 podcast. So I had to do the little 2, so Disney Film didn't kill it. But I kind of liked the idea of the 2 R's, where it's kind of, I'm Reaper Girl and I'm Rachel. It's about, kind of, it's a redemptive kind of thing, but also kind of reconstructing things. It's I liked the idea of using the colors of like a phoenix and the starbird that I kind of used as the insignia, my kind of, I don't know, logo, I guess is what it would be. Sure. I liked the idea of that because it was something that spawned so many other things, and things grew out of it. Hi, Krista. Krista says hi to us, Charlie.
Hi, Krista. I typed it first, but yeah.
I liked that. I liked that. So I went with the starbird. I went with the oranges and the yellows and kind of the deep reds. And I kind of every day as like a chance to do something better, do something different, do something that betters me instead of hampers me. So I kind of look at, every day as, okay, this day didn't go so great, burn it and let's go to the next one. So it's kind of, sure. I'm almost in a constant state of rebirth where it's just kind of like, okay, and take in the new information, adjust, and then start over again. So I kind of liked the idea of using the starbird and, phoenix kind of colors, and, all right, everybody's got to start somewhere.
I'll show it. Let's see if I don't know if you could see. This is my phoenix.
Awesome.
So that was one of the first tattoos that I had gotten after I had completed all my chemo and radiation. And phoenixes, they have magical properties. Their tears can heal, and they always rise up. And so that's so I wanted to get that. Phoenixes are important to me. And so I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool, and it's a color I can see. So yay, that was awesome. And
yeah, I have to say, like, I'm glad I happened upon that image. So, like, it kind of really, I've always kind of liked the idea of getting a phoenix tattoo myself, but, like, I've just never gotten around to having it done. But, yeah, I kind of, like, that's how I kind of look at every day. Just kind of like, okay, burn it and start anew.
Right. Well, I mean, you have friends here.
Just start over.
You have friends here that have podcasts. Mine is, I'm not that great at it, but I know a little bit, and I know that there's a bunch of us out there that would be willing to help you out in whatever that you need to do. But I think that's all.
As soon as I can get it up and going, like, there is a segment I have planned for people for collaborations. So
awesome!
I will be knocking on people's door.
Right.
Like, come hang out with me.
All right. Well, I mean, that's all the questions that I had for you for this time. So at least as far as that goes. So if you will just open it up and just kick things around for a little while. Michael, you said you had some other news. If you want to share that, I'll throw it up on the screen. Other than that, I will share a cool story. I guess it was maybe last week or the week before. My days and weeks kind of run together now. got the announcement that Mr. Dominic Pace, Gecko himself, was going to be in New Mexico, which was pretty cool. He was going to be in Albuquerque. Now, I live in Roswell, and as the crow flies, it's not too far. But
You live where the aliens are.
oh yeah. But I don't even have a driver's license right now, so my wife had to drive me, and then so
It's a fun time to get out of the house, Charlie.
it works. It's a technical issue, but so my wife drove me up, and we spent the day in Albuquerque. And I actually got to go in and speak with Dominic and got to meet him and got a awesome signed print here. And then I have
I know. I still have to send you. The one I promised you. I haven't it's been.
This.
Does it flash?
It does not flash. They had one that flashed, but I was kind of running low on cash. And it was a Thursday, not a Friday, so it was the day before my payday. Otherwise I would have gotten the one that flashed, but so limited funds, but I got what I could. This one's not done because it's going to be get sent to someone else for another signature. And then it'll be put into a frame and in there. But I contacted the artist, and she was more than willing to help me out with that. So
Wow.
I'll get Dominic's signature and hers on there. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I found this. This was pretty cool.
Sparkly grape juice, red grape juice.
Sparkling red grape juice, but
It's awesome that it's red grapes.
So I had to get it just because the bottle. So I don't normally drink this stuff, but my collection has been growing. I have a Kylo that's up there. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna send you that picture. I just haven't had a chance to get to the mailbox to the post office and to get it packaged up. I've got a cat hat that I made Zori, so I've got to mail that. So when I go to mail that, I'm gonna send you that picture too.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm supposed to meet Dominic in Cleveland, Tennessee on the 27th. I'm really excited because I haven't got to do any kind of traveling or going to do any anything since New York. So, and that was in 2012. So I'm jazzed, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to come back with maybe not if I had the $200, I'd come back with it all, but I don't. So maybe I'll come back with at least a few things.
If you're on if you're on Facebook and you go and you follow Dominic on there, he normally will have the location of where he's going to be at next or whatever, and then they'll have a price list of things that he has to offer that he's selling. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty cool. It wasn't too much traffic up in New Mexico, but it's New Mexico is an odd place.
Tennessee, I don't know if there'll be a whole lot. I don't know if there'll be a whole lot in Tennessee. We're one of the states that right now is glowing bright red, but also there's a severe geek shortage in Tennessee. I don't know if it has something to do with there being, I don't know. There's just not a whole lot of our people here. So wow. The fact that Dominic's coming, I'm like, yes,
that's cool.
Find some people.
All right, I got to put this up for Michael here because that is awesome news. Wow. See, you know what? I don't know.
Anything can happen.
I wish I did more book reviews. but my reading schedule is very limited as it is, especially with all the kids and running around doing this, that, or the other thing. It's hard to get some reading time in. And I'm one of those that can't read in the car because
that's why I truly appreciate the fact that you're reading Edge of Hope.
So I really need to invest in the Audible part, like 2Med2 and RFB. I've been trying to get me to do for a while now, because while I'm sitting at work, I can just have it going in my ears. But there's just something about holding a print copy of the book in your hand to thumb through. And, it's like, oh, man, what I must have missed something 2 pages back, and you go back and you can reread it. So I don't know. But yeah, what else?
There will be like, I'm looking into Amazon Publishing to get Edge of Hope actually made into it'll be available. If I can work it out with Amazon Publishing, it'll be available in ebook, and it'll be available, I think, ebook, Audible, and then it'll be available in print as well. So I'm going to try my dead level best to get it printed, because I promised a couple of people that wanted a copy of it, an actual copy. If I can't work it out with Amazon, then I'm just going to go find some other place and just have some copies printed up. And if you want one, I will definitely send you one, Charlie.
Oh, cool.
That way you can have it and just.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else Star Wars going on?
Well,
no.
Not that I can really think of. Like, I did the podcast. I'm working. I will say within the next 2 days, there will be a video posted on my new channel. I'm going to post it on the R2 podcast, or R squared. I got to say R squared, because if I say R2, they're just going to start it. I'm going to put up, it's going to be an open casting call this time for the table read. We've got, Ross has said that he would still be our Chewie. So we're gonna do that. But yeah, we're just going to do an open casting call this time, because Jericho is actually out shooting his Han Solo fan film right now. And
awesome.
I cannot wait to see it. It is going to be awesome. But that's pretty much the only thing I've got. That's the only thing I've got coming up, is that I'm getting, like, within the next 2 days, I'll post a video on there, and it'll be an open casting call. I've got to make a list of all of the characters to cover, because it is like, anybody who does want to participate can participate, but it is going to be a very long live stream, because we're starting from the beginning. So it will be quite a few pages. And I think the first one we did was just over an hour. And we were trying to truck through that as quick as we could. And even, I think Jericho did quite a bit of editing on it. And that's the other thing. I don't know how to do editing, so there won't be any editing, because it will be on my channel. So that's one of the things that I'm going to test for a while and see if I'm good with not tweaking things. If I get a little too overly critical, then maybe I'll start hitting the editing software a little hard.
All right.
But that's what I've got.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure having you on this time.
I got a question. I'm profoundly grateful.
Absolutely. And
thank you so much for doing it.
Sure. And once you get the podcast all set up, we can have you on again, and we can go with that. And
have you come on.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'd be honored. That'd be awesome. So Rachel's podcast, R Squared, will be coming to different audio devices here in the near future. Also, check out her Edge of Hope on Wattpad, and you could also reach you out on
2,660 reads the last time I checked.
Oh, that's awesome! All right, and Yeah, and reach out to you on Twitter as well. And yeah, so it'll be an awesome time. It's great to see another podcaster come out, and we'll be able to help you out as much as possible. So hopefully it won't be too
I
long
appreciate
for
that.
my next session. Just as a teaser for that, it's going to be Star Wars therapy, and we're covering music. So I have a special guest all lined up for that one. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait to break it down with that person. So yeah, until next time.
Can you
May
at
the
least give us
force.
the genre of music? You can't tell us.
Oh, it's going to cover everything. Okay, give me a second. All right. So yeah, I got to run, but have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.
Bye.